I think net, the only summary I would have is we will see volatility. We will see a lot of these movements as they happen because for whatever we're seeing, he's fairly serious about tariff right now. I mean, it could be negotiating tactic, but honestly, no one really knows. And so therefore, what are the implications for India? And I see that broadly, I think, three buckets. One is obviously the export and export and import, and we're seeing that potentially behind the corridors, behind the closed doors when these negotiations are happening, but we'll see some impact coming in. Hopefully it's mitigated. There are sectors around like auto, there's sectors around steel, pharma. I think those are places where we get potentially some impact. IT with the visa restriction, we could get an impact. AI is another one which is on top of it, so there is a certain degree of risk sitting there. The point that we may have more Russian oil if the Ukraine thing gets sorted will have overall, give us a little bit more headroom on the fiscal side. And the China plus one angle, I mean honestly that has been portrayed for many years. India really has not been able to capitalize on it. Vietnam has been far more than India, for example. But it could still be a time for us to get our act together and capitalize on this. So net, I think on the trade side, view is there'll be some impact, but hopefully not too much. I think on the capital flow, and all of us have suffered over the last few weeks with this. I think FPI volatility will be there. Talking to a lot of folks and analysts, it's very clear that right now US is volatile, we don't know where the next emerging markets are. In India, there is obviously an indication in terms of where we are priced and so on and so forth. So I think over the next few weeks, months, again, we'll see that volatility. Having said that, if you go back to the Indian economy, that's the right-hand side, we are still a domestic consumption and service economy at the heart of it. We are not an export manufacturing setup as China is, which essentially at this current time of volatility implies that we have that buffer. And if we get our macros right, if we kind of hunker down and get things right, I think we will be hopefully tiding over this much better than most of the world. I think it's interesting because sometimes we get lost in the daily momentum, daily news, what's happening in India. The reality, if you look at the last 15, 17 years, you've done amazingly well. Right? I mean, we are 1.2 trillion economy in 2007, we're around 3.9 right now, we're 3 times larger, which means 2 more Indias have gotten absorbed. That's the size of opportunity which is opened up. So talking about the previous speakers and talking about opportunity for startups, I think that's where huge opportunity opened. That's why we see in the last 2 decades so much momentum.